Hello everyone, I'm Dr.V.Srividhya from GFGC Pidvi. The subject which I'm going to discuss now is cost management for 6th semester BCom, and the topic is value engineering. Till now we have discussed about product design, target costing, value analysis, which all are the techniques of cost reduction. Then what is this value engineering? Value engineering is a systematic and organized approach to providing the necessary functions in a project at the lowest cost. Value engineering promotes the substitution of materials and methods with less expensive alternatives without sacrificing functionality. What does it means is it's a very well organized and a systematic approach, uh, and it provides to avoid necessary functions that is at a lowest cost, which means to say that finding out some alternatives to be used in the production without affecting its quality but by reducing the cost. Necessary functions in a project at the lowest cost without affecting any of the functions of the product. Some substitution has to be introduced or implemented in the material instead of in the materials used or methods used without affecting the quality. That will be the value engineering. Value engineering refers to the again systematic method of improving the value of a product that a project produces. It is used to analyze a service, system, or product to determine the best way to manage the important functions while reducing the cost. So cost has to be reduced. The functions has to be same. And how is it possible? It is possible by value engineering. What is the method is using the alternatives at a which are of lower cost, but it should give the same output or same outcome. Value engineering encourages using alternative methods, materials, not only materials and also methods that are less expensive and do not lower the functionality of the system, service, or product. In no way it should affect the product or the services provided. And without affecting all this, if any alternative methods or materials or anything is used, that will be termed as value engineering. Most often, value engineering takes place after the completion of the design process, but it is best performed before the design is conducted to allow the experts to incorporate the option of using alternative methods and materials. When the product design is done, they chart out like what all has to be used for that product, whereas the outcome of the product will be excellent. So when this value engineering has to be implemented and when they have the plan of introducing the value engineering, what they have to do is when the product designing is taking place, before that only, if whatever has to be implemented for a less for a less expenses, they have to incorporate it as an option for using alternative materials and methods. If this is implemented at the earlier stage, it will become much more easier. Later on, if they find out and if they feel that this can be implemented, then right from the beginning, all the process has to be changed. But if this is implemented at the designing stage itself, after that is after the completion of the design process, it the performance of it will be better than implementing after the design is framed. Most value engineering projects opt for a team approach where subject matter experts work together to execute the value methodology. So when this value engineering is going to be implemented, it is not like just like that they are not going to implement. All the research related to that will be done, and it will be done by the value engineering project experts, where there will be a team after doing research and undergoing all the process and then finding out the best alternatives, then only it will be implemented. So this will be happening when all this process is completed, and this is done by the engineering project experts. Value analysis and value engineering. The last session we have discussed about value analysis, and now in this session we are discussing about value engineering. And these two terms are closely related, so that many people use them interchangeably. Though the philosophy understanding the two is the same, the identification of unnecessary cost, yet they are different. The difference lies in the time and stage at which the technique is applied. Though it looks alike, both value analysis and engineering, both of it is a different concept. What is this value analysis is after the product has been manufactured, identifying the unnecessary cost and trying to reduce the unnecessary cost. But this value engineering is after the designing process is over, they try to find out the best alternative materials or methods to be used for the reduction, for the cost reduction. Value analysis is the application of a set of techniques to an existing product with a view to improve its value. So this value analysis it clearly states that for the existing product, what are the techniques they are going to use it to make the product more valuable, to improve its value. Thus, it is a remedial process. It's a remedy, just finding out what is the remedy to increase the value of the product. Value engineering is the application of the same set of techniques to a new product at the design stage, project concept, or preliminary design when no hardware exists to ensure that bad features not added. Thus, we can clearly state that it's a preventive measure and value analysis is a collateral because value engineering initially as it will happen after once the designing process is over they try to implement the best possible alternatives for the cost reduction whereas value analysis is done after the product outcome is there, they try to check out how to improve the product's features to give more value. So, I can rightly state that value engineering is a fundamental process and value analysis is collateral, which means to that prevention is better than cure. So, if you follow the rule of value engineering, that clearly indicates that it is prevention is better than cure. What are the advantages of value engineering is it is cost avoidance instead of cost reduction. In all the techniques till now, whatever we have discussed, it indicates that how we can reduce the cost. Whereas this value engineering, initially as it is going to happen, it is cost avoidance. It's avoiding the cost once the designing process is over, wherein the cost will not happen only. So they find out the alternative ways and initially only the cost will be eliminated, unnecessary cost will be eliminated or a better products or methods with good quality and features will be used. Henceforth it is cost avoidance whereas value analysis is cost reduction. It locates all frills and gold platings. So, what is the expectation of the customer is the product design and the outcome should be good. So, that can be done by using the alternative ways. So, this value engineering tries to locate all the possibilities where the product's outcome will look good. It segregates the necessary from unnecessary, finds out what are the unnecessary costs, and try to eliminate it. It is an organized study of functions and costs. It is both. It is study of both functions and cost. Since it studies both, it is easy to identify the unnecessary cost and try to eliminate it and find out the best and alternative method to use it. Short crash cost reduction method. Amongst all, we can say that it is the best cost reduction method because here the cost reduction is done by identifying the best alternative ways to that can be implemented for manufacture of the product. It's a combined effort of several departments. So all these cost reduction techniques can't happen by uh, just if one department follows it. It should happen by the combined effort of all the several departments, whatever departments is there in the organization, all together they have to put in the effort for this cost reduction. It provides necessary functions and avoids unnecessary functions, which is repeated here again. It is not a sacrifice of quality. Since the cost reduction is done, that doesn't mean the quality will be sacrificed. With the same quality or better quality, the cost reduction will be done. It's not a mere criticism of existing system, method, design, or process, but an appraisal of practical alternatives. So, since it is stated that is the best method for the cost reduction, it doesn't mean that other methods are criticized. This also can be implemented along with the other methods by finding out the best alternative for cost reduction. By implementing this value and engineering, what are the advantages the organization is to gain is higher productivity, simplified manufacturing process, overall cost reduction, and the performance will be better, and there will be higher reliability on the product, reduction in lead time. Lead time is like getting the products for manufacturing raw materials into the company, better quality, easy maintainability, then even the appearance will look good. That will be improved appearance, simplified design, reduced rejections. Very often the rejections will become more if all this is not taken into consideration. So once we implement this value engineering, rejections will be reduced, less close and rigid tolerance, higher market share. When all this goes hand in hand, there will be higher demand for the product. When the demand for the product is more, obviously that will increase the profit. When the company is making good profit, many will be eager to invest in that company. So that finally leads to the higher market share, again higher profit, less after sales service requirements. Where when the after sales service requirements happens is when the product is having more of problems and any damages, and if it is not of proper use and all. So all this will become less if all this is utilized properly. Reduce time of machine or process, decision on to make or to buy, easy and correct. Then also better packaging, improved logistics, transportation will be improved, application of group technology possible, accommodating customers' various requirements, then export probability enhances, enhanced value of product and service, optimum utilization of resources, materials, machines, facilities, manpower, and money. On the whole, there will be maximum utilization of all the available resources when all this taken is when value engineering is taken into consideration. So the references for all this is from websites and also from the um, book authored by M. N. Arora and Venkatramana, Himalaya Publishing and Seven Hills book publication. I hope you have understood the topic which I have discussed in this session. Any queries, kindly feel free to contact me. Thank you.